Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but a means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like to watch is very visually engaging, and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that is where I come in. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. We are continuing with the Jolie Mimi Cardigan from Wool and the Gang, and you just saw the previous video that we were working on the rib stitch as the first 6 rows of knitting, and now we are supposed to be moving on into the bulk of the project, which is the seed stitch or moss stitch, depending on what neck of the woods you come from. I'm about to cut the strand of yarn that I do not need anymore because the rib stitch part was knit with 2 strands held together, and I believe the last time I knit this I cut the outside strand, so this time I'm going to cut the middle because that just was not working for me last time. Pulling from the middle caused more harm than good, so this time I'm just gonna cut the middle one and pull from the outside. So I want to leave myself some tail, so we'll go like that. Cool. So middle is now doing its thing, and we will begin. So this is just going to be really easy knitting. I slip the first stitch. It says right? Well, let me double check here. Yes. That's exactly what I do. Cool. Alright, so we are doing the seed stitch. I should spend some, oh, whoopsies. Lying. I'm holding 2 strands together. I shouldn't have done that. Because it told me not to. Oh, get that yarn back. The whole point of cutting that strand is to not use it anymore. Okay, now let's try that again with just 1. Alright, here we go. Anyway, I was going to say that I haven't done any research, but I'm curious as to why this is called a seed stitch or a moss stitch, depending on where you are. They call it different things, different places. In America, it's a seed stitch. But it doesn't look like a seed. To me, it doesn't look like a seed. Does it look like a seed to you? Or moss, if you're in an area that calls it moss stitch? I mean, I could see... I have all kinds of foreign hair on here. I could see it being called moss if it was like clusters of moss growing on a tree or a rock or something, but I just don't see the relation. And I could see a seed if it looked like a seed, but maybe it does. I don't know. I don't see it. I do not see the seed or the moss. Still thoroughly fascinated by the fact that there are different stitches, and they're called different things. Created by different people. It's truly, truly interesting. So I wonder how many people in the world are now going to be expert knitters after we come out of this months or weeks, depending on where you are, of self-isolation. I'm curious. I think I probably, if I hadn't started knitting yet, this probably would be the time I would start. But really, it's a time to learn how to sew, making your own PPE. I don't have a sewing machine, but I found a cool tutorial on how to turn a bandana into one. So I have some scarves that I think I can use for that purpose. But I'm hoping I won't have to go out very much anymore. So then I won't have, well, now they're recommending that you do wear them. It's all over the place, but I think just to be on the safe side, I will start. I have an old shirt. I have an old pillowcase. I have all kinds of like fabric things that I can cut into the shape I need to fold over into the shape of a face mask. So probably use that. And my partner still hasn't done their taxes. If you were wondering, I will let you know. Hasn't happened yet. But they sound like they're happily playing some games. They're playing a new game. It kind of, I was just listening in on what they were talking about with their friend. It sounds like this game I've played before called Spore, and the best way I could describe it is like you build your own world based on what kind of species you want to be, and you kind of evolve with time, adapting to your environment. And it was pretty cute, but I only played it for like maybe a couple days or so, if that. But it was nice. I liked it. Okay, row 1 of seed completed. And you guys saw how long that other one was. This is supposed to be 28 inches long. But it's really going to be like 28 and a half, maybe 29. My rib stitch looks kind of short compared to the other one. So we'll see what happens. Could also be just because I haven't seen the very beginning of the previous one in so long, because I've been just working on the seed stitch that I forgot what it looks like. Oh well. We'll see. As long as it's the same length, we should be okay. That's all I can say. And my book club is next Sunday. I only have 3 of 5 books. So, I don't know. I might just go anyway because it's nice. Well, go isn't in quotes go because it's going to be virtually. Um, we'll see. And I'll just say, well, I can't really speak about the first two, but I can talk about the last three because those I do have. And I'm kind of sad because I know that they're probably sitting in the mail, and my library had closed before they got to us because I checked my account. It did say they were in transit, so I knew they were on their way. But now they're just gonna go back when they open again. So my partner and I, very briefly, were playing. Wasn't even really playing. We were talking about what would we do if we had $1 million. We were at work, quote unquote, just working next to each other at our home office desks, and I was in a moment where I wasn't doing anything in particular at work, so I just turned to them and I'm like, what would you do with $1 million? They're like, what? I was like, what would you do with $1 million? And they're like, I don't know. They weren't really like, they're like, okay, you're crazy. What, you're, being inside is going to your head. Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, I would first off pay my student loans. Pay off my student loans. All of my debt. And then I would probably buy a property that I can live in and invest in. One of my dreams was to, or still is, to have a store slash like cat cafe where I can make and serve desserts because that's my favorite. And I would have part of it be a store that's all cat themed goods and have a shelter. So like the cats that are in the cafe slash store are adoptable. And then that would be the first floor. And then the second floor would be like where I live. So a full like penthouse style apartment where I have my home and my kitties are there. And then the very top floor would be apartments. So it might be like a 3 or 4 story building and have like nice luxury apartments, and then mine like right above the shop. And then I was like telling my partner we could rent out the 2 units above, or 1 depending on how big the building is. And if for some reason the shop didn't work out, it would still be retail space that somebody else could turn into a restaurant or a store or something like that. So I'd always have that income of whoever lived there. But it would also be nice to help my family with any, well, I already know they have debts, but help my family with their debts. I mean, $1 million after taxes isn't all that much, so I could probably only do, like, for one, pay my loans off and my partner's loans and invest in this storefront slash rental, like, mixed-use building, and probably help, like, my brother and my aunt and uncle with whatever else they need, like maybe pay off their house or something. So that's what I would do. And then of course, since if my building is turning a profit with the rents, then I could invest that back into my store or start up more funds for other charities that are cat related, because cats are my favorite. Maybe do something like more TNR, like trap and neuter release programs. in my community. What would you do if you had $1 million? I keep thinking I should get a lotto ticket. I mean, every now and then I'll do them, but I'm always like, oh, it's gonna be the day I'm gonna be a millionaire, and then I don't win any money. But I think, like, I've always tricked myself to think, I know it's all probability and all that good stuff, all that math that I never really paid attention to when I was a kid, but the fact that I always try to psych myself out to think, like, the one time a year that I buy a lotto ticket is going to be the time that I make it big, and I don't want to think about it too much because then I'll jinx myself, and it's like really weird, like I'm psyching myself out. But at least the money that I spend on lotto tickets every blue moon is going to support, like, schools and things like that, so it's not all bad. I feel like I'd have a better chance of winning something if I went to, like, one of the casinos around and just said, okay, I have $20 or 30 or whatever. I'm only going to spend this much, and if I win, I win, and if I don't, I don't, but I'm not going to spend any more than that. Because I know how it can be pretty crazy, pretty addictive. But I've heard people do, like, really well with casinos. And I've heard people do really poorly too, so it's not something you should go in obviously thinking that you're gonna, hit the big time there. But if you have an extra $20 to spare and you want to try to increase your funds for fun, it might be something to do, but I wouldn't count on it as being like your meal ticket, which is why I don't usually get lotto tickets, but every time I think about, oh, I need to get rich, I need to buy a lotto ticket, then I think about the people who actually win. I'm like, man, I wonder how many times they played before they won. But yes. I think we can do one more rep. What do you guys think? I feel like maybe it's just my optimism, but I want to say maybe this one will go by faster. Now that I know what to expect, I feel like it's kind of like when I'm going to a place I haven't been before, and I feel like it takes forever to get there because I'm lost, and I'm not familiar with the area. It just takes so much longer when I don't know where I'm going. But then once I get there once and I do it a couple more times, then it's kind of like you kind of get into the groove of it. You kind of know what to expect, and it goes by a lot faster. And I feel like that's what it's going to be like with this panel. And I want to say after I knit this, the next section is going to be the back. Let me see. Yeah, the next is the back. And that's just one big panel, so should be okay. Hoping. so funny. My brother's birthday is coming up. Well, not coming up, but it's about a month away. And his fiance, her birthday is the 18th of May, I want to say. And I have been slowly buying them gifts. Mainly my brother, because he likes to cook like I do. So I've been getting him like little knickknacks and stuff for his birthday that are like kitchen related, and I just bought some stuff for my future sister-in-law. That's so weird to say. But his fiance, I got her some stuff from the Lip Smackers website because she likes this one thing. It's like sugar skulls, or like Day of the Dead's decorative skulls she likes, and I got her a couple different lip smacker lip balms that have those as like the case. And I was looking on Etsy because there was this one site or shop that has like Lego stuff, and she likes Legos too, so I was gonna get her some Lego earrings. So I think I'm gonna buy that tonight while I'm editing this, and I'll just have a whole box of like little goodies for them for their birthday, and hopefully I'll be able to mail it to them soonish. But they're pretty much aware that I'm not going out because their state finally has a shelter-in-place order too, so they can't go out either officially. Because I was like, why are you hanging out with people right now? Like, what's wrong with you? And so now they actually have to follow the rules, and so they are well aware that I have been following the rules and haven't been hanging out with people or going places I don't need to go. So they know they're not going to get their present very soon after their birthdays, but they do know they have a present coming. And yeah, I think tomorrow I'm just going to sleep some more. I don't know, I had like this plan to clean, but I don't want to. I just want to lay around. I don't get to, even if I work from home, like I'm still expected to be on the ready for anything and everything. And we haven't even talked about how we're going to use our vacations yet, and we have to use them pretty soon. Considering with everything that's happening, we still have time off to take, and our job is now a little bit cash strapped, so it's not like they could cash it out for us anyway. Like they really couldn't before, but they really can't now. So I kind of just have to figure out when to take it, and now I don't have anywhere I can go, so I don't know. I might use that time to clean, like deep clean. But we'll see. I always say I will and then I don't. And I was thinking like I could do the bathroom today and then maybe do the kitchen tomorrow. But now it's probably going to be do the bathroom tomorrow and the kitchen maybe Monday night. We'll see. But yeah, we can see. We just have a little teeny bit right now, so just the baby stages of panel 2, and it'll just keep growing. I have easily a month until I can see people and wear it out, and I don't know if I'm gonna get that far with it, but I'm still working on the blanket, and that one I feel like is more important because there will be a day when my partner can go hang out with their friends again and present this baby blanket to their friend and their friend's wife and new daughter. But now I think she was born last month, so she is a little over a month old now, I think, or close to it. So yeah, I don't know when this baby's gonna get that blanket, but I am working on that one too, and I feel like that one is like more pressing to be done than my cardigan, because I'm gonna be here for a long time, but the baby's only gonna be a baby for another 8 months. Well, longer than that. 9 months? Yeah. So, yeah. Well, that's that. Thanks again for watching or listening or doing both. However you choose to use this video's content to pass the time, I hope it was worthwhile for you. It definitely was for me, because as you can see, I made some more progress with my knitting, and that is really why I am here, and hopefully the reason you're here too. But thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.